The story begins with the building suddenly catching fire, smoke spreads everywhere, and screams are heard. Firefighters risk their lives trying to save the people trapped in the building. There is a firefighter named Max who was bravely saving people. He rescues an old woman from the fire. The old woman cries and pleads with Max to save her husband. Max consoles them and goes back into the house to save her husband. But then suddenly the ceiling collapses and Max is crushed to death, and the scene cuts here. In the next scene, we see Max's father James. James is busy trying to wake up his son Tom. Tom is a very lazy man. He just kept sleeping the whole day. With great difficulty, James opened a comic shop for Tom so that he could do some work and support the household expenses. Now in the story, we see Detective David. David is sent to James' house. James retired yesterday but wants to solve one last case. Together they start working on a new case, after which both of them enter a building from where a strange smell is coming. Neighbors are troubled by this smell. David and James suspect something is wrong. The two decide to go deeper into the building and descend into the basement. They see a dead body laying in the dark basement. The corpse is badly injured. The smell was coming from the same dead body. Detectives David and James are shocked to see the condition of the dead body. They immediately inform the police and send the body for an autopsy. The autopsy report shows that this person was being given a lot of steroids and was forced to work out. While he was bench pressing, the rod fell on his neck and he died. Then suddenly David's boss Norma arrives there. She is a big fan of comics and today she is wearing the same clothes as the comic characters. As soon as Norma arrives, she removes James from the case because he had already retired. Although this makes David very angry, he is unable to do anything. At night, David gets a call and learns that another body has been found. When he reaches the spot, he is shocked because the killer had dressed this corpse in the armor of an ancient warrior and the heart was taken out of his chest and connected to a machine. All this was very strange. But one thing is very clear, that this man died in agony. Someone has done many types of experiments on this. David can't understand who can be so cruel. Why is all this happening? Then Tom's eyes fall on the photo of the dead man kept near James. Tom says to his father, he looks just like the Hulk. Remember, the Hulk used to be grey. Maybe someone wanted to make him the new Hulk, but he died midway. James is surprised to hear Tom's words. He just further entangled in this whole matter. When he reaches the office the next day and gets more information about the dead body found last night, he is further shocked. Actually, an attempt was made to keep that man alive by removing his heart, just like Iron Man. Looks like the killer wants to form his own superhero team. Norma gets a little scared after hearing James' words. She also thinks that perhaps James is right. That's why she makes Tom David's partner. Tom was an expert on comics and superheroes. His detailed information could have proved a boon for David. Both of them reach the place where the man in armor was found. When Tom and David reach the place, they see Lord of the Rings weapons all around. But there is one thing that surprises Tom, an axe. This axe was nowhere in Lord of the Rings. Tom thinks there is some secret hidden in this axe, so David immediately sends it to the forensic lab and a few days later discovers that a firefighter's fingerprint have been found on the axe. Everyone immediately reaches that firefighter's house. Smoke is rising from the house. When he enters the room, he gets goosebumps. There was an eerie atmosphere in the room. The firefighter was locked in a glass cage and was wearing a strange suit. It seemed as if an attempt was being made to burn him alive. Everyone together breaks the cage and takes him out. By that time, it was too late. That man had already died. Tom said, looks like the killer wanted him to be the Human Torch, just like in the comics, but he was also killed like the others. Now this dead body is also sent for an autopsy. The autopsy report shows that the man's suit was stuck to his skin. It seems that first his body might have been overheated and then this suit was born to cool him down. But this suit got attached to his skin. He must have been in this painful condition for at least 3 days. Frustrated by all this, David talks to Norma and asks James to join the team again. But Norma tells him that James is ill. He has cancer and I want him to spend his remaining time with his son. David feels very bad to hear this. He felt he should spend some time with James, so he goes to James' house for dinner. During dinner, Tom asks David about his parents. David reveals that his parents were murdered. He has always been trying to solve his parents' case, but the police department never allowed him to do due to personal matters. Tom is stunned by David's story and says, "Your story is just like Batman." David is surprised to hear this. He, along with Norma, retrieves his parents' case file. They discover that the person who killed their parents and who is now killing people as a supervillain may be the same person. In the file, they found a number card with Detective 33 written on it. This was the same comic book that introduced Batman. David was stunned by all this. Tom said whoever was doing all this probably had all the old comics. Tom said he is probably killing these people through comics, and such old comics are not easy to find. But I know a guy who collects all kinds of comics. Everyone decided to go to that man. The comic dealer told them that a man named Victor had bought all those comics. David felt he must now find Victor. He reached Victor's house alone. But when he opened Victor's room, he found Victor's dead body there. David was shocked. In anger, he shot Victor's dead body. Then suddenly a strange gas started coming out of Victor's body. At the same time, a man named Noah came there, bearing a strange mask. He was the real killer. Due to the gas, David started feeling something strange, like insects were coming out of Noah's mask. David asked Noah, "Why are you doing all this?" Noah said, "In my story, you are the hero and I am the villain." A fight started between the two. Then Norma also came there and tried to shoot Noah, but Noah sprinkled something in his eyes and he ran away. David told Tom everything. Tom said Noah thinks of himself as a supervillain and you as a superhero. He wants to challenge you just like a hero. This means that David will also have to prepare to fight Noah. Noah has killed the others just so David can get to him. David was shocked to hear Tom's words. He couldn't believe that someone could do this. But after listening to Tom, he felt that he had to do something. He donned a strange costume and got ready to fight Noah. Meanwhile, James reached the office secretly. He tried to find out about Noah and also discovered Noah's real identity. He was going to David with this information. When Noah arrived there, he attacked James and captured him. Noah called David to tell him that James was with him. If David wanted to save him, he would have to become a superhero and fight Noah. David was shocked to hear all this. Tom gave David his brother's police uniform and transformed him into a superhero. David named himself Superhero Apes and set out to fight Noah. Meanwhile, James had been imprisoned by Noah. James told Noah, "You take off your mask. I know who you are." Noah took off the mask and it turned out to be none other than the doctor performing the post-mortem. Noah told James, "I wanted to give the world a superhero and David was perfect for me. I had tried this on many people before, but they had all failed." Noah revealed that the people he chose were all criminals whom the police were never able to catch. Noah said that, "I want a hero like Batman with brains and courage. David has all that, but I have to do something to make him believe in himself." Noah said that he would kill himself so that David would think he could win this fight. Noah did a scary thing. He put his mouth in acid and disfigured his face. Just then David reached there. Out of fear, Noah shot James so that James would not reveal his actual identity to David. David became very angry and a massive fight began between the two. In the middle of the fight, David took off Noah's mask, but David was unable to recognize Noah because of the acid. Noah laughed, "But did you think you did recognize me so easily? Evil has no face. Then he hung down to jump into the acid. Before jumping into the acid, Nova told David, I am a criminal and you are a cop. You should be arresting me, not letting me die. Nova said again, I am a criminal. I deserve to be punished. David replied, you said yourself that you wanted a hero. So here I am, standing in front of you as a hero. Nova became happy knowing his plan had worked. Nova made David a real hero and he happily jumped into the acid. After a while, David and the others went to Nova's house. They found a secret place in the basement that looked exactly like Batman's cave. There was a supercomputer in the basement. Everyone came to know that Nova was the same doctor who used to do the postmortem. Now David worked as a policeman during the day and saved the city as a superhero at night. Yes, Nova's methods were wrong, but he had given the city a real hero, and thus this story ends. So friends, how did you like the story? Do tell us in the comment box, and for such movie explanations, subscribe to Movie Recap English. See you in the next movie. Bye bye, take care.